going on, everybody? Welcome in to Blazers Uprise Live. Today, we got Picks Against the Spread, and we got a game preview. It's a very typical Blazers Uprise live stream. So that's what we have on tap for you guys. Hope you guys are enjoying your Monday. We will then have the post-game show later tonight and a post-game show tomorrow night. So we're doing 3 streams in 2 days. We can just jump straight into it unless you want to lead off with something. I don't know. I don't have much of an intro. It feels kind of, lacking, but... Alright, so, as far as our records, updated records, chat went 4-0. There was only 3 games last Thursday. Chat went 4-0. They won their double down. Me and you went 3-1. Trevin and Reese went 2-2. Westbrook went 1-3. So you still got Chat, Eric, and me in the top 3. Chat's trying to pull away. We got positive records on 4 of our 6 double downs, basically. Reese, me, Eric, Chat. Westbrook and Trevin been struggling with those. Reese said he did research today and he's going to go 7-0. So we'll see what this looks like for him. He said he... Are you? Oh, yeah, I forgot. There we go. Cool. Yeah, now you can hear. Now you guys can hear Eric's beautiful voice. Yeah, so that's what the records are looking like. Let's just jump into game number 1. You got Chicago taking on Houston. I don't know if Houston's wearing their alternates, but the Reds were too similar, so I went with their weird alternate blue, man. It's still weird to see. But Chicago is a 1-point favorite on the road. They have been playing better basketball than Houston. This is an interesting spread that I'm not picking first. Let me pull up chat on my phone and get situated here.
And DeMarcus Cousins was ruled out, if that changes anyone's mind.
Somebody said he was still playing. I don't know what the situation was.
No, he was ruled out tonight with a heel injury. He was still going to play even though they...
It's so weird to me.
Basically going to cut him, but yeah.
It's so weird to me.
Christian Wood is still out for the Rockets.
Give her that double screen. All right, let me get...
I think I'm going to take the Bulls in this one.
All right.
There was a rumor that they were going to let him go NBA forever, but they denied that rumor, and he practiced yesterday or something. Yeah, so.
Yeah. Wasn't that rumor tweeted by, like, Shams or something? Wasn't it, like, a legit reporter? Well,
so Cousins actually has, like, a weird contract where he has a date where if they cut him by, his contract is non-guaranteed or something. Mm-hmm. So I think the tweet, whoever tweeted that, was just basically saying that that they're not planning to keep him past that deadline, but everyone took it as, oh, they're releasing him immediately or whatever.
Yep. So they still have John Wall, Victor Oladipo. That's tough. Chicago, Lauri's still out, I assume. They got Zach LaVine and Thad Young, who I guess is their second best player right now. Lauri's out. Wendell Carter Jr., I don't know if he's back. You know what? I'm going to, I'm not feeling risky. I'll take the Bulls, too. I took the Rockets last time, and they screwed me, so. We got a clean sweep, Bulls and Rockets. I almost took the Rockets, but I will take the Bulls. If the Rockets win this, I'm going to be upset with myself, though. Game number 2, you got Dallas versus Memphis. Dallas is a 5-point favorite against the Grizzlies. Kristaps Porzingis is out for this game. In this case, I am going to roll with the Grizzlies.
People are saying they're hearing static. I don't know if that's me. I just switched.
I don't hear anything. I don't know. I only saw one person say static, so... Oh. Shervin said Mike is tripping. Is it my mic or is it Eric's mic? Y'all gotta help me more than that.
I just fixed mine. I don't know. Static is gone. Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, Skype's been switching mine like midstream to my headphone mic instead of the Snowball.
What's weird is I didn't hear it. Normally I would hear it, because what plays for you guys is what comes through my headphones. So the fact that I didn't hear it was kind of weird. Reese is going with Memphis. Trevin is going with Memphis. What are you going with that, Eric?
The spread is 5.
Chat barely went Memphis.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Memphis just because of the 5-point spread.
All right, almost another clean sweep. Westbrook is alone on an island with Dallas for this one. Let's go to game number 3. You got OKC versus Miami. A 2012 finals rematch. Miami is a 7.5-point favorite against the Thunder. Trevin's going Thunder.
I'm going Thunder as well. Even though picking against the Heat was my one blunder from last Thursday.
I don't want to just go along with the pack, man. I don't know. That's rough.
Chiefin, please only vote once. You screw it up if you vote 4 times. And you know better than to spam chat too.
Yep. I'll see what chat goes with. And then I'll make my pick. I don't know. I might be willing to go out on an island with this one. Or I'll let chat go out on an island. I don't know. Or these are some easy spreads, so to say, today. Seems like. So far.
Watch you go like over.
Yeah.
So Belgian Blazer says, "Hey Tori and Eric, since Chad is winning at the moment, does that mean we know more about B-ball than you?"
Collectively, no. Almost. Just got lucky.
I mean, if every one of our picks was based on a whole vote of people, then yeah.
Well, I'll just say this. I beat chat last year, so, small sample size.
You guys are doing well, though.
Chat's going with the Thunder. Screw it. I'll go with the Heat. Screw it. Surprised that spread's so high.
The thing is, if you're really smarter than us, you would be betting for real or finding a way to bet for real with chat's picks, and you'd have made a lot of money so far this year.
60 and 43. Yeah, it would have been a decent amount of money. Let's move on to Utah and Charlotte. Somebody's going to start doing that, and it's going to fail them now. Watch. The Jazz are a 12.5-point favorite against the Hornets. At home. That's a huge spread. But the Jazz have been blowing people out.
Yeah.
Don't like it. Trevin's going Jazz.
Reese is taking the Hornets. I'm also going to take the Hornets. I just don't like 12.5-point spreads. Westbrook's taking the Jazz.
I'm going to play it safe and take the Hornets. Tough spread, man. This might be the toughest spread.
Trevin says Hornets always win when he picks against them.
Well, good. That's why I picked the Hornets.
Aren't the Hornets in like the 6th or 7th seed in the East right now?
Yeah, I mean you only have like 4 teams above 500 or something like that. Like the Celtics are sitting there at 500.
Toronto all of a sudden
strange.
is like almost in third.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, chat's going
What's with
Jazz.
these 8-7 votes? Interesting.
See, this leads me to believe that chat might have a bad night tonight because they're usually not this divided on these picks.
I know, yeah, so this is teetering on collapse here, chat. Fifth game, you got Portland versus Phoenix. Phoenix is a 6.5-point spread. This is a fun one. I got the Blazers logos ready to put in for you guys.
Yep, you got it for me. Go ahead. I'm taking the Blazers. 6.5 is
Blazers is the home
is
team.
a lot of points to get.
Westbrook.
If Lamza was in here, he would say we shouldn't even play this game. We should just forfeit because we're gonna.
Did you really just call him Lamza on
Yep.
stream? Oh
I
my
did.
goodness.
I will
Oh
never
my
call him
God.
his real name ever again.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Reese, Damian Lillard is not an option. Your options are the Portland Trailblazers and the Phoenix Suns.
Trevin took the Blazers.
Trevin took the Blazers. I have a gut. Okay. I don't know if I think that they'll get blown out, but I have a gut feeling they could get blown out. You know what I mean? Like, the Blazers haven't been blown out in a really long time, but they haven't played the best teams. And you look at our defense, and you ready to run drop scheme against CP3 and Devin Booker, Eric? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm going with the Suns.
All right. Chat's rolling with you.
All right.
Reese is taking Blazers.
All right, me and chat know what's up. I mean, I don't know. The Blazers could win this game, and I wouldn't be surprised. But, like, this is the type of team. I will preview this game in a second.
I will
We'll
say
preview this
the couple times I took the Sixers against the Blazers, I think those are the only 2 times I picked against the Blazers this year, and they won both of
Well,
those games. Maybe I should.
Then why are you picking for them?
I don't know.
We're gonna
'cause I
blame
wanna
you
be
if
right.
we're gonna blame you if they lose. Let's move on to the Lakers and the Wizards. The Lakers are a 7-point favorite against the Wiz. I'm gonna go with the Wizards. They're playing better basketball. The Lakers are without AD. Don't look that impressive without AD. I'm going to take the Wizards.
Oh, yeah, this is a tough one. I think I'm going to go Wizards too.
Copying my pick. Hey,
man. The previous 3 games we went against each other, so.
felt too risky for you. I see how it is. Westbrook going Wizards. Trevin going Lake Show.
I like how after 3 straight games of not having the same pick, I'm a copycat because I picked the same as you. Just
Yep.
because you went first. You don't know
Yep.
what I would have picked whether I went first.
Exactly. Reese, I thought you did your research. I thought that meant that you were going to, like, know what you wanted. Reese going Lakers. I'm not copying chat. Chat's copying me.
13-2 Wizards. Oh, chat's a bunch of
That's their
copycat-
double down. That's their double down, actually.
Copycats.
Yeah, come on. Jeez, man. Y'all a bunch of sheep. Alright, so double down time. Trevin and Reese are going for the Lakers in this one. Chat's double down is going to be, I got to just hide these until I change them. This scene is still broken. Bye, Eric. You're gone.
I'm just laughing at GK. Chat above all y'all.
Alright, so you got Wizards for chat, I believe, right? There wasn't a higher vote than that.
Yep, there was one game that was close, but not enough.
Alright, I'm gonna just go through the spreads one more time for mods and whatever. I'm gonna double down on Memphis.
Okay. Trevin is doubling down on the Bulls. Westbrook, the Wizards with Chet.
That was probably my second choice to double down on, by the way. But, you know, I don't copy chat, so I went with the Grizz. Wait, no, Reese waiting on Eric.
Reese, what's your double down? Bulls. All right. So I'm going to make myself doubly mad tonight and go with the Blazers.
Oh, God, they're going to lose by 50. Thanks, bro.
I already cursed it, so I might as well go all in.
I mean, you're guaranteeing that they now lose by more than 6.5. So, I mean, that's the silver lining, I guess. You know, if they're going to lose, they might as well lose by 6.5 for me today. But, yeah, you out here cursing it, man. Homer picks, copying me. Disgrace.
Westbrook, don't ever tell me what to do with your record.
Yeah. Oof.
Get above 500 first.
Oh, man. Ouch. Anyway, that is picks against the spread. Let's move on. You got... So this game tonight, right? You got Chris Paul. You got Devin Booker. And you're probably going to have some drop scheme from the Blazers. And I'm just here to say that is not a good idea against those two guards. You want Devin Booker like stepping into threes off the screen wide open?
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen tonight. And then Chris Paul like is a master at like utilizing that space we give him by running drop scheme. And, like, making the most out of it for himself or for others. And, you know, a good mid-range shooter and whatnot. So we give up that mid-range shot by running drop scheme. Chris Paul loves that shot. I don't think this is a good matchup for Terry Stotts. Like, personnel-wise, I don't think it's necessarily a bad matchup. But, like, for our coach, this is the type of team that could exploit his flaws.
I think they're saying the static is so bad they can't hear. Is it me or Tori?
I think it's me. Is it because my mic was by my phone? Y'all good?
Fixed. Oh, that was it.
I don't know what's happening with that. Okay.
Interference.
Yeah, man. Bro, the Blazers organization is trying to drown me out. They're trying to censor me. Okay. So, as I was saying, let's just go back from the top and hope it doesn't do that crap again. You got Devin Booker, Chris Paul versus drop scheme, most likely. Those two guards you don't want to play drop scheme against. It's that simple. I'm expecting us to really struggle to contain him. Like Devin Booker, you got to trap him. In my opinion. You got to trap him, you got to hedge him. Chris Paul, you got to trap or hedge him. But it has to be executed well. Because the last thing I want to see is us trap, but like us trap so far out from the screen, they just split it.
Yep.
And then it's basically a 5-on-3. Because the two defenders up got split. And then you have people saying, well, see, that's why they don't trap. No, you got trap and hedge and execute correctly. This is a bad matchup for our coach, not necessarily our personnel. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not super confident going into this one because this is the type of team you were talking about. You know, we're playing teams that don't really exploit our weaknesses too well.
Yeah. This is the opposite tonight.
Yeah, this is the opposite. So that's why I picked the Suns. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this game. This is just we had a good stretch against bad teams. Okay, we just kind of relapsed and had a loss against a bad team. Now we're going on the road and we're playing the Suns. Like, if we could win tonight, that's going to be our first win over a 500 team other than Philadelphia since January 1st. Think about how long January 1st was. Like, how long ago that was. That's almost 2 months. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. This is going to be a tough one. I am not the most confident. Even if we had CJ and Nurkic, I wouldn't be the most confident. I don't think their team is any better than ours. I just think coaching-wise, you cannot run drop scheme against Devin Booker and Chris Paul. It's literally that simple for me.
Yep, this is a good test to see what kind of game plan Stotts has to counter that. If we go into this game running drop scheme, I'm just telling you right now, I mean, our coach is an absolute bum if he does that. Like, there's no logical explanation other than he has no clue what he's doing if that's what happens. So we better hope to see some sort of game plan to counteract that and to do that. I mean, we all know that's probably coming, but I just want to see him come up with a defensive game plan for a good offensive team like this, and see what they can do to stop it. And if he has a good game plan and they're just not executing it correctly, I will be the first to say at least we tried to do X, Y, and Z. And but
it'll still be a critique for me.
Right,
like,
yeah.
You gotta get this team executing more than just a drop scheme. Well, you have to get this team prepared to execute something other than, oh yeah, Dame, when you get screened on the ball, you go over the screen and then try and get back to your guy, and Kanter, you just stand in the paint.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, if they're still not executing it perfectly or like well, then yes, I'll agree with you. But like if Kanter like hard hedges a screen and Chris Paul or Booker is just so good that they still are able to make a player pass it to an open guy or something, I won't be as hard on it as if we have just a horrible game plan and it doesn't work at all.
Well, yeah, in that situation, that is making them beat you instead of beating yourself with your schemes.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Which we don't like to do. We just like to try. But yeah, I don't want to hear us drop the bigs and then be like, oh, what are we supposed to do? Booker and Chris Paul just made all their shots.
When they're shooting wide open threes, stepping into them off the screen, but they just made shots, right? And then the other end, we're making one pass, going one-on-one and jacking up contested threes, and yeah, we're just missing our shots. We got great looks. That would be a prototypical Blazer game, right? So let's just look at their roster. They start Chris Paul, Devin Booker, one of mine and Eric's favorite non-Blazers, I would say, Mikal Bridges. Frank Kaminsky is listed as their starting four on their ESPN depth chart. Is that correct?
I believe the last couple games that is correct. Kind of a weird lineup, but he's actually been playing well for them. So,
and you got DeAndre Ayton as their center. DeAndre Ayton is actually a good matchup for Kanter, I think. Kanter, he's kind of a he's not a big that'll stretch out Kanter, basically.
I'm seeing Cameron Johnson on some places, but I thought they started Crowder at times as well. So
either way, they don't have a big backup center to punish us going small, because we still don't have Giles, right? Covington's still basically our backup center. They stagger him with DeAndre, or they stagger him with Enes Kanter. Their backup center is listed as Dario Saric. Maybe Frank Kaminsky plays a little backup center, but even then, he's not a guy that's going to punish a little bit of the lack of size. Mm-hmm. They may go small with Jay Crowder. They do have Damian Jones on the team, but he's listed as a fourth string. I don't think he's even playing for him. So personnel wise, we don't match up terribly with them. Would you put Dame on Mikal Bridges and put Derrick Jones Jr. on Chris Paul and Trent on Devin Booker?
I might flip that and put Paul on Trent and Derrick Jones on Booker. But yeah,
just either way, those two guys, Trent and Jones on Paul and Booker, right? If they push in transition, they might you'd be fine cross matching. You just want, because they play a pretty fast pace, don't they?
Yeah, I believe so. I can check their pace numbers.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. Basically, it should be a situation where Trent and Jones have Paul and Booker, right? And when they push in transition, whichever one is, like, say Chris Paul is pushing in transition, whichever one of Trent and Jones is closest to ball picks up ball, and the other one picks up Booker. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, instead of, like, leaving ball to go completely across the court to pick up Devin Booker, you know what I mean? Like, it should just be something where those two guys are guarding their backcourt. And if they push in transition, whichever is easiest to match up with between, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Trent and Jones. And here's the thing.
Interesting. They're 29th in pace according to Basketball Reference.
Oh, well, still,
But 8th in offensive rating.
They'll push occasionally, so it's, that's just a situation where if they push, that's something we can do. When you have Jones on, my idea with Jones on Paul is he's probably going to be running a lot of pick and roll, so you could switch that off with, like, if Covington's guarding Kaminsky, you could just switch that. But yes. Most of the pick and roll comes with, like, Paul and Ayton, so.
Look for stats after the game to say that Phoenix is really good at pushing the pace.
Mm-hmm. He'll probably say that, man.
If we get killed against a team that does a lot of pick and roll and it's because of our schemes, I almost want to, like, start with Dame on either CP3 or Booker. And that way, because he's okay if they don't set a pick. Like, he's a decent enough on-ball defender, in my opinion. But if they do screen, then the person switching is, unless it's Cantor, would be a much quality defender. So as long as you avoid too many pick and rolls with Cantor, I would just put Dame on the ball handler. And I know that's kind of counterintuitive, but, like, then they would have a lot. They would have trouble with screening with anyone other than Ayton.
Yeah. Offensively, we got to move the ball. Where do you have their defensive ranking up on that page that you just looked at?
They are 7th.
Okay, so they're a good defensive team.
Top 10 in both offensive rating and defensive rating.
They're a good defensive team. We're gonna have to move the ball. Like, Chris Paul is still a good defender.
Mm-hmm. Bridges is a good defender.
Yeah, Dame can score one-on-one against pretty much anybody, but, I mean, it just comes back to the basic stuff that we always say. It would be nice to run Dame off the ball a little bit and try and get him some looks that way and move the ball, because that was kind of our issue against the Wizards, and the Wizards are a bad defense, and they held us to a 12-point quarter, and when we moved the ball, we had a 43-point quarter. So look for that correlation tonight, all right? Look, try and notice when we're moving the ball and when we're not moving the ball and how well we're scoring, okay? Like on a quarter-by-quarter basis.
And it's not just moving the ball, like, in terms of assist. It's also watch what the other guys who don't have the ball do. Are they just running towards the top, or are they actually doing some sort of action to get a basket or move towards the basket or get someone open? And so that goes hand in hand with ball movement.
Yep, agreed. So that's going to be a key. Also, they're a team that I think they shoot the 3-ball pretty well. That could be something that could give us an issue if we kind of relapse to the way we defended the 3-point line before that good 9-game stretch. That is something I'm worried about. I mean, there's a lot of ways this game can go wrong for us.
They're 27th in points in the paint, so they don't really attack the paint, so we can sell out on the shooters.
Yeah. I feel like they probably shoot a lot of mid-range shots.
Yeah.
Like, I know Booker likes to shoot those. Chris Paul likes to shoot those.
They're tied for 9th for 3-point percentage.
Yeah.
But over the last 3, they're shooting 50.8%. Holy crap.
It's insane.
Yeah. So they've been hot, needless to say.
Yeah. Well, is this game nationally televised too?
Nope. The Lakers Wizards, I think, is the national televised game.
Wasn't this supposed to be nationally televised?
I don't. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be or not, but yeah, the Lakers Wizards one is the one that is.
Yeah, that's lame. Dang, I thought it was nationally televised. Maybe it's our next game. I'm not sure. Not sure.
Phoenix is third on 2-point shots, even though they don't score a lot of points in the paint. That means they, like you said, they hit a lot of mid-range shots.
Mm-hmm.
They actually tied for second with the Lakers, 55.4%, which is really good.
Yep. We can take questions in chat. You can give us questions about this game or about whatever, and we'll finish off with that over the next 5-10 minutes.
Portland is 28th in 2-point shots.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Tomorrow is televised, okay, against the Nuggets and the Lakers. All right. Good, because I miss Calabro, man. Honestly. Calabro was underrated when he was here.
Look at what, Beavis?
I saw Dame's tweets about Vanderpool. Of course, he wants to see Vanderpool get a chance to be a head coach. That's his guy.
I thought they were very telling. I thoroughly enjoyed his tweets last night.
Chad Doing said we'll go 0-3. Of course, he did. Is CP3 a top 10 point guard of all time? Yeah, I'd probably put him top 10. I don't know. Thoughts about Dame getting triggered about Stotts on Twitter? Did he get triggered? I wouldn't say he was triggered. But...
No, he didn't. He didn't respond to many of the Stotts things. He responded more about assistant coaching and that dynamic. But he specifically said that the assistant coaches don't have control. That they have to do what the head coach says to do and have to run his schemes. And Dame has only played in the NBA under Stotts, so we know that that's not something that every coach does, but Dame thinks it is because that's the way Stotts runs it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and you touched on the past, the whole, there was a quote that you had of Stotts saying, yeah, my assistant coach wanted to do some things, but in the end, I decided to keep doing what I was doing. Like, he's had a quote, something along those lines. That's paraphrasing. And that tweet from Dame basically just confirms that.
Yep. And also, so right before we traded Plumlee, him and I forgot which other player, but there was him and one other guy, it might have been Harkless or someone, was on record begging Stotts to let them trap pick and roll. Mm-hmm. And they do it for a game, and it works great. And then the next game, they do it a few times. It's working okay. And then one time, it gets blown up, or someone made a good play, and we don't see it. He doesn't let him do it again.
Stotts is just waiting. Whenever he traps, he's waiting for it to have one bad possession, so he can go away from it. He hates doing it, even if it's working really well. He hates trapping.
And those that have been around a while, we broke down a play in the Boston game in the bubble where Stotts said that the trap wasn't working and they had to get out of it. But the one play they did it, Dame falls over and the rotations were horrible after Dame falls over, and he's like, "See, we can't trap because it gives up a wide open three," but it wasn't even a real play. Whatever. So. It's
a fluky play, and we give up a ton of wide open threes anyway. It's ridiculous.
And I'm just gonna say, this has been a theory of mine, but Dame's comments, I believe I'm 100% right here. So this is what happened. Vanderpool had gotten a ton of coaching interviews for head coaching spots when he was here, but when you go in an interview and they're like, okay, so you're in charge of the defense, what schemes are you running? And he's like, well, I'm running Stotts' scheme, and this is what he tells me to do, and whatever. So that's so much worse than, what Stotts and Dwayne Casey, when they were on Dallas, when they went into interviews, they were like, Carlisle put me in charge of the offense, so this is the system I ran, and this is what I did, and that helped Stotts get a job. Same with Dwayne Casey on defense. He could be like, this is the scheme I ran on defense. This is what I like to do in these situations. Carlisle gave me the authority to do this kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And so they both get head coaching jobs right after that, right?
Yeah.
And then, so Vanderpool is going through all these interviews, and he doesn't get hired by anyone. And, there's a lot of candidates that get hired that people have never heard of or whatever. So, like, why doesn't he get a shot? And it's the same with Tibbetts, so you can't say it's just, like, one person or race or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, like, so then we hear the comments before the 2018-19 season from Stotts, and I wish I could find this interview. I've been searching all over for it, but like I can't just like search and find it. But where he says like the assistant coaches asked him to change some stuff on defense, and he thought about it all summer and offseason and then decides not to do it. And then the following offseason, Vanderpool leaves, coming off a Western Conference Finals appearance for like basically a similar position on another team with a coach that's questionable if he's going to be around very long. So I think they've promised him more of an opportunity to show what his defense, like do his schemes and give him a little more control than what Terry was giving him. And then, so Vanderpool tells Dame, hey, look, man, like I love being your coach. I love being here, but like I gotta take this next step in my coaching thing to see if I can eventually, get a head coaching job, and I don't feel like I'm being showcased enough here to do that. So I'm going to go take this job. They have a young coach that might not make it, and it looks like I would be in line to get that job. So then he doesn't get it when they fire Saunders, and now Dame's pissed because not only did we lose Vanderpool off our coaching staff, but he doesn't get the coaching job. And so like Dame's thinking like, well, why the heck couldn't we have just kept him then if he wasn't going to get that job? And so I feel like that just justifies everything I've been saying about how Stotts won't allow, because we've seen it too. I mean, when's the last time he brought in a defensive-minded coach other than as a consultant to actually be on the bench and give some control to and let him do things? He's just too stubborn and too rigid and thinking that his way will work. And we've seen time and time again that whether he had the best system ever or not, it's not working right now, and you have to change it, and he's not really doing that. And it drives me crazy that that we allow this person to have that control, to where the last two seasons our defense has absolutely sucked, and we haven't forced him to give up any of that control or like said, hey, why don't you let one of our assistants handle that or something, like give someone else a chance to see if they can improve it. I know Dame was probably super annoyed on all the Fire Stotts tweets on his things, but those of us who actually had good points, I hope he like starts to think like, why did we get rid of Vanderpool? Why didn't we give him more control instead of him having to go to another team to get that control? And then it didn't even work out, so we lost him for nothing, basically.
Yeah. And you look at Nate Tibbetts, too. He's had a number of head coaching interviews, and they've gone nowhere.
Yep.
Right? So another guy. Stotts doesn't put his assistants in a position to get hired as head coaches. I agree with that, and that's basically a way to kind of lightly summarize some of the points you just touched on, which I agree with. Tibbetts
is our like defensive coordinator now. When Vanderpool was here, he was in charge with the offense, and so the 2 seasons he's been our defensive guy. He's like done nothing, but Dame just said he's not allowed to do anything other than what Stotts tells him to do. So yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah,
Stotts wants total control, and he's not a good enough coach to demand total control. He's not a Popovich, but I don't even think Popovich takes that level of control. I feel like Popovich will give his assistants some power there in San Antonio.
And the other thing is, too, I mean, Stotts is almost, like, insecure with it. So, like, that's another reason. it's almost like maybe he felt threatened if he gives Vanderpool more authority, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
what if the defense does approve and is really good using his system, and his Stott system isn't working anymore, but he gives control to Tibbetts right now, and he has, or Pargo, or whoever you want to give it to, and then all of a sudden, oh, we're playing good defense. Or what if he hires Jim Boylan full time, and all of a sudden with the same personnel for like a bottom three, like top 15 or something like that, then that looks really, really bad on his coaching skills. And I think that's those kind of people just don't want to make themselves look bad. So they're always going to try and keep it as long as they can in a position to where they aren't shown up by someone that could possibly take his job eventually.
Yeah, and I mean that's why I wouldn't hate necessarily like if we fired Stotts and brought back David Vanderpool. Like I want a fresh pair of eyes, but also it's like maybe he would be the right coach for us, and he already has connections in the locker room and there's a good locker room presence, and Dame would be upset that Stotts is gone, but he would be the least upset if we then hired Vanderpool, right?
Right.
So that's not a guy that I'm against hiring. Replacing Stotts.
But yeah, it's like if I'm Dame, I just want to, if I could ask, like,
Yeah.
if
Do.
there we go. If I'm Damian Lillard, I would start to think about, like, well, why couldn't we just give him more control over things? Like, look what's happened since he left. Wasn't that maybe the wrong decision? Instead of like making him go somewhere else, just give him control of the defense and let him stay, and then we still have him here, right? So, and that's why, like, I've long petitioned for a guy like Earl Watson to get an opportunity, and he's kind of similar to Vanderpool, being as he was played here for a year. Dame respects him, and he has some coaching experience in Phoenix. How much of a chance he got there is up for debate, but like, why not bring a guy like that in who has Dame's respect, and maybe we can learn some new things and give him a little bit of control or something like that. And there's a reason why I don't think stuff like that happens.
Beavis, how so? What part is stretched, do you think? Yeah, I mean, Stotts is the longest tenured head coach that hasn't been to the finals. Like, I mean, you look at other long tenured head coaches. Rick Carlisle been to the finals, won a championship. Erik Spoelstra been to multiple finals. I know we have LeBron and whatnot, but been to multiple finals. And even been to a finals without LeBron. With Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. Greg Popovich won 5 championships. Like, Stotts has an extremely I'm not lagging. I think some people were just lagging on their own. Stotts has an extremely long tenure for never reaching an NBA Finals. And what's funny is people excuse it because he reached the Western Conference Finals. You know what I mean? And they got swept by an injured team. It's just baffling to me how he's been around here so long. But
I saw some thread about, I forget where I saw it now. Maybe someone in chat can help me, but it was like there's 54 coaches in NBA history that have been with one team for the same team for 9 consecutive years, and like, of those, like 49 or something have a better winning percentage than Stotts does with Portland. And then, like you were saying, there's like 21, I forget what it was, but like 21 who like 15 out of 21 have been to the finals or something, and he's one of the only ones that hasn't. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, I saw it this morning. I should have bookmarked it somehow. I forget where it was, but yeah, it's frustrating. And so if you just look at the comment that Beavis mentioned, yes, you can probably take it that way, but then he makes other comments later on basically just saying that our assistant coaches have to be yes men and they can't ever question what Stotts does because if they do, that's not how you keep your job. He commented like, you try telling your boss that you want to run something different and see how long you last at your job or whatever. Like, yeah. So like, he obviously was. We're not stretching the truth, man.
Yeah. Yep. I'm down to just put a stamp on this conversation and log off here. We will be live in about 4 hours after the game. A little less than 4 hours, actually. So quick turnaround. You got this game tipping off in about an hour and a half. Around 6:10 usually. So, hopefully the Blazers can get things done. Things to watch for. Are they running drop scheme off the bat against Chris Paul and Devin Booker? Are they giving up wide open threes? How is their ball movement? And what is the correlation between how well they move the ball and how well they score? Those are things to look for in tonight's game. Honestly, pretty much every game, those are things to look for, but especially tonight. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will catch you guys later tonight. So, I don't know. Anything else you want to say?
No, just thanks everyone for tuning in. We really appreciate those of you that tune into these streams are a little more, you guys are the best. Because this is a much smaller group, and it's a lot more fun, I think. Hopefully someday these streams will be as big as the other ones, but until that day, we appreciate all you guys.
It's nice being able to read through chat a little easier.
Yeah,
true. There is some positives to it, and I know you guys are the real ones, so to say. So anyway, we'll catch you guys later tonight. Hopefully you enjoy this game and can tune in a bit. Until then, as always, peace out.